Q, can you take us through the decision to bring Garcia up to lead off and how your lineup kind of shuffles a bit facing a lefty today?
Yeah, a lot of things went into consideration there. Mikel's been swinging the bat better. We feel like he raises his level of competition a little bit in these atmospheres, and we're hopeful that he can get on and create some havoc on the bases.
Far back in the tables, Taylor.
Hey, Q. It's a kind of a crazy day for Kansas City folks. They have the Chiefs and the Royals playing at the same time. Probably electric back home in Kansas City. Can you just talk about how neat it is and just the shared respect and kind of support you guys are showing each other, the Chiefs and the Royals?
Well, I can say from my perspective, once we moved to Kansas City, I've never seen anything like it. The support for the Chiefs last year, phenomenal. You know, you're in your neighborhood and they score a touchdown, you hear cannons going off. You know, parties every weekend when they're playing. They've been extremely welcoming to me and my family, and the coaching staff and the relationships we're building with those guys has been great. You know, I went out to practice once last year, and Mahomes came right over to ask about the bullpen, and you know, like everybody's interested, right? And I think the setup we have there is very unique with both stadiums side by side. I'm excited for them. It's a great time to be there, and it's the community supports both teams. You can feel it. Just walking down the street, you can see more Royals flags out in front of people's houses. It's a lot of fun. It's very exciting.
Other questions for Q? Third row on your left.
Yeah, with Reagan's this year, his fastball's obviously been extremely effective. What makes it special, and does it remind you of any other fastball you've seen before in the game?
Well, I think the thing that stands out to me is it's a four-seamer with a lot of horizontal movement. So it kind of disappears on you as a right-handed hitter. You think it's got good carry as well, but it's got unique characteristics, and it's in the mid to upper 90s. He throws it from usually the far third base side of the rubber, so it just continues to get away from right-handed bats. If it reminds me of anybody else, that'll be a tough one for me off the top of my head. Haven't thought about that, so I don't want to say something that's not accurate for you.
The second row on your right, Matt. Tyler.
Matt, when you took over as manager, you know, Salvi had been here for so long. What did you need to communicate to him about yourself or about your plans or whatever when you first got the job?
I wanted to listen to what he wanted to say, not what I had to say. You know, I had utmost respect for him, watching him play for all those years on the other side of the field. Heard a lot about him as a competitor. You know, just the fact that he was a catcher that played basically every single day was so unique. And, you know, my first phone call was to him to just let him know that I wanted to hear what he had to say, and we were going to have the best line of communication we could possibly have. And, you know, I as a manager wasn't going to be able to convince him or anyone else of anything on day one, right? You have to earn that respect. You have to be in there and communicate and show them that you're a genuine person and you back up your word and all those kinds of things. And that's what my goal was, not just with him, but with everybody.
What was important to him at the start, and what have you seen the last 2 years about what makes him great?
Well, the most important thing to Salvi is competing and winning. You know, he cares more about the community of Kansas City, more about the Royals than anybody. He's been here his entire adult life. This is his family. The community is where he feels he's got a tremendous amount of passion for the community. But as far as baseball goes, he wants to win more than anybody, and that was a huge goal of ours, is to return him back to where we feel like he rightfully belongs in the game.
First row on your left, Phil.
Hi, Coach. Phil from O Show. Momentum is everything in the playoffs, especially in a short season, a short series. How do you feel is the vibe of your team going into Game 2?
Great. Yeah, our guys, I've said it a bunch of times, our guys are absolutely incredible about turning the page from one day to the next, regardless of whether it was a win or a loss, right? Because if we had won Game 1, the Yankees aren't going to care about that today. We're going to come out and try to get after each other tonight. So our guys turn the page is better than any group I've been around.
Second row on your right, Natalie.
Salvi was here a little earlier. He spoke about, quote unquote, you know, he's still working on in his positioning behind the plate, down on one knee, handling those low balls, being a big guy. What do you think it says about him that at his age he's a Gold Glove winner. He's, a superstar. He's still making adjustments and wants to improve at age 34.
Yeah, makes me smile, to be honest, because that's the passion you need to continue to be good at this game. And he could easily have said, I'm good, and retired or whatever, or just said, I got this. But he understands that he's got a lot left in the tank. He's got a lot left to offer as a player himself, but as a leader. And when other guys see him working as hard as he does, whether it's on his catching, in the weight room, on his hitting, nobody works harder than him in that clubhouse. And that's something he's obviously taken pride in for his whole career. And it's not going to stop now.
We'll stay in that row with Rustin.
Q, when JJ got Yuli Gurriel, what was the kind of communication about they were going to pick him up? And at 40 years old, were you kind of curious on, how he would look, how he might fit in?
So we did talk about it. It came together quickly because we knew that it was, you can get the dates exactly, but it was right near the end of August. So we knew we had to get him in prior to the, whatever that date was, 31st or 1st, to have him be eligible for the playoffs. So it came together quickly. We were in Houston the day after Vinny got hurt. We did as much homework as we could through people we knew with the Braves and elsewhere to find out about him as character and work ethic. And it was all off the charts, and that's what we've seen. So what our expectations were, we didn't really know. He had been injured, he had a hamstring, and but he came in, and it's been a very linear improvement, health-wise, the way he's been moving, his comfort level, I think, with us and with the team, and being in the pennant race, I think, or playoff race, I think, was very motivating to him.
Second row on your left, Matt.
AQ, is there something to facing Carlos Rodon for a third time, and is there anything that you can take from those first two starts against him and use in this game?
I think like with any elite pitcher like he is, it really comes down to your discipline, because if you expand the zone with him, he's got plenty of weapons to get you out, and he can if he gets you chasing pitches out of the zone, you might have a long day. But if you can be disciplined and get what you're looking for, you have a chance, because we can game plan for strikes, and understanding what he might do, and our guys can game plan for their strengths.
Third row on your right, Bill.
What has impressed you the most about Michael Massey, and how good can he be if he stays healthy all year?
Well, what's impressed me, number one, is his fortitude to fight through the injuries. He's had a tough year when it comes to his back, but he's competing his butt off out there, probably not at 100%. He's a really good hitter. We know that. He's got power. Last year he showed tremendous improvement in his defense, and that's continued this year. So we're really comfortable with him as a stalwart in our lineup, and what's impressive is that he's got the mental attitude to keep fighting through this.
Other questions for Matt? Annie?
With the off day yesterday, I'm assuming that helps you use your bullpen the way that you like, or the game dictates it. Do you foresee everyone being available today?
I do, yeah. I think no one was overused the other day, and with the off day, I think we'll be all set.